Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to the Gemini Cross Watchers only reading, evacuation edition. We're going to jump into these cards and see what is going on between you and your Gemini person of interest for the month of September. And what I have noticed in the comments, and please excuse my voice, I don't know if it's the dry air in Texas, the lack thereof of humidity or what, but it's like all my nasals are all, bleh, right now. But anywho, I noticed in the comments, a lot of you guys were saying it resonates flip-flop. So whether you're person A or person B, just get in where you fit in. But I'm reading the first line for my cross watchers and the second for your person of interest. So the first cards out for my cross watcher is the Death in the reverse, that's Scorpio energy. Then we have the Nine of Wands, the good old wounded warrior / PTSD card. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So what this is looking like, cross watchers, is coming out of August and into September. There's a cycle that's intended to end between you and your person of interest, but there's a sense of still holding on and not wanting things to end or to not have that finality. Or that could just simply be a fear of yours. I feel with this Nine of Wands, it's more or less because there was a level of back and forth between you and this person. I think there's been several times you and this person may have been kind of going backwards and forwards, or you would go periods not speaking to each other. But I feel that that's bearing heavily on your self-esteem, though. It feels almost like and the way that I'm feeling it is very heavy. I want to clarify it just to make sure that it's not as heavy as I'm feeling, because the energy I'm picking up on at present, it feels very dire. Almost like the thought of losing this person feels like the end of the world type of deal. Like almost like it bears heavily on your self-esteem, almost like, because it's with this 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. It's like, if I were to go just straight through the line of cards, there is some sort of an ending here, but it's my cross watcher not wanting to let go. It's triggering a fear in the past of what it's like to lose this person, or if we're just speaking generally in partnerships that you've been in, it's just like, it's almost like a fear of abandonment, if I could say it that way. It feels a lot like a fear of abandonment, because it's almost like if there's any form of rejection, or if a partnership doesn't work out for the cross watcher, it weighs heavily on their self-esteem, to where it's almost like grieving several situations in one, where it could be feelings of, like no one's ever gonna love me, or my relationships never work out, or feeling as if there's some sense of being inherently flawed or something of the sort, or thinking that every time a person gets close, that they're ultimately going to reject you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And it's almost like that line of thinking and those emotions kind of convening is what's causing this feeling I'm feeling that feels very dire. Now, let's see, clarifying this death card, we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse and the King of Swords in the reverse. That's interesting. Well, here's the thing. I feel where this comes into this, oh God, that's a lot going on there. When it comes to this connection, there's two ways that I can see this. For some of you, this could be that there is another person that is involved in this, right? Where this would feel like somebody, either this person just getting out of a connection with someone, like say if they just recently broke up with someone else and you guys got back, well, not got back together, but just got together, period. Or there's kind of this back and forth between you, your Gemini person of interest, and another person. But whatever the case, with the King of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, we can also look at that as the dynamics in which you two are interacting in this particular partnership, meaning that for my cross watchers, specifically if you guys are earth signs, that this person is inhibiting your growth. So more or less that if this is a break in this partnership or a breakdown in it, really, the intention is for you to address whatever this Nine of Wands would represent for you, like any wounds that you have in relation to rejection or anxious attachment or abandonment, and learn to love and appreciate yourself, right? And to address those issues that are kind of getting triggered by that, of feeling like not enough or something along those lines. That would be the premise of why it is that this relationship needs to end, right? Or why it is that things have kind of broken down. The whole premise was this emotion being triggered and this being the thing that needs to be addressed. Because with this King of Swords in the reverse, whether we look at this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse and the King of Swords in the reverse as just your energy, I really see it as the dynamic between the two of you. But whatever the case, is bringing you out of alignment with who it is that you are. So there's a lack of progress. There's a lack of being fruitful. There's a lack of being able to be strategic, organized, move forward, step into a leadership position. So that could be kind of falling behind at work. Because when I say that emotion is dire, it really feels like a cloud that's kind of consuming, wow, that's a lot of cards, consuming my cross watcher. Wow, okay. So looking at your person of interest, your Gemini person's energy, the first card that comes out is the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Then we have the Star in the reverse, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So here's the thing. When it comes to this Gemini person specifically, there's a little bit of emotional, not a little bit. Why am I saying a little bit? There's a lot of emotional unavailability when it comes to this person. And I feel this person really does make you feel, no matter what it is that you do, it's just never enough. It's almost like my cross watcher person could be bending over backwards, trying to do everything to get this person to feel loved or cared for, or whatever the case may be. Putting your life on the back burner, but there's a lack thereof of this person seeing that, because it's the vibe that they're giving off. It's like it's just not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, but here's the thing, and that brings me back to this King of Swords in the reverse too, because it's a very manipulative energy. It's almost like this person would be sending you on a journey to fix a problem that's not even there. So you're trying to find ways, and that's very narcissistic, is you trying to find ways to be better or to love them more, or to show them that you care, and it's still not being enough. And then clarifying, this Queen of Cups in the reverse is the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So it's like with them, they're not speaking the truth of the situation. So it's all bullshit, if I could be very honest about it. It's them, like, and even, dude, I feel this vibe of like how this person could be throwing like, say if they know about your childhood or something that you've been through in your life, like this person could be using that against you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're just like that because, your mom was an alcoholic, or because your dad left your mom, or you're just saying that because your dad cheated on your mom, or whatever the case. I feel that they take a lot of stuff that you've been through, that you've told them in confidence, and use it against you, which again is a very narcissistic tactic. So if I were to say just what I'm seeing so far, my person of interest, this looks like someone who came into a situation with someone who's possibly narcissistic, is a manipulator, an emotional abuser, a mental abuser, and them seeing the weakness that my cross watcher has and using that against them, right? But I feel that with this person either pulling back from you or ghosting you or whatever the case may be, it's like the opportunity that's on offer for the cross watcher is to not dwell on this, because I feel the way that this person had this connection set up, it was set up in a way to leave you exactly where it is that you are now, like feeling you can't walk away because, and this is getting into the intricacies of how the human brain works, but a lot of times when you're in a manipulative partnership, and the person is telling you that you're something that you're not, um, the other person feels this unspoken need to vindicate themselves, right? Because after a while of being kind of brainwashed into believing that you're not a good person, you're still on this journey of trying to be a good person and to be better and to fix what's wrong and, you know, whatever the case. But like I said, it's a journey to fix something that's not even broken, right? This is just a mindset that the person kept you in to keep you stuck because they're getting, you know, whether you want to call it narcissistic supply or whatever, they're getting a benefit out of the connection and keeping you in this state of confusion, you know? And it's not really so much of a concern. And I said this, I think, with I think it wasn't across watchers only. It was the Virgo reading, which, you know, you guys should watch anyway, because we're in Virgo season. So that's a collective reading. But I think it was in the extended that I said to Virgo about how certain facets of life, if we're struggling in a certain facet of life or we're in stagnant energy, and I spoke about this in the Taurus Crosswatcher too, but how it acts like a cancer because it starts in one cell and it affects like all of the surrounding cells, right? And then it bleeds into different facets of your life, you know? And I feel this is what's happening to the Crosswatcher. It's like this person coming in and manipulating you, and this person already feeling, the Crosswatcher person, already feeling insecure or not enough. And meeting someone who sees that you're insecure and you feel that you're not enough, them playing on that and perpetuating it and presenting it to you in a way that it's a lot worse than it really is. You know what I'm saying? And my Crosswatcher person gets sucked into that, and it's difficult to leave this person behind because they end up becoming a form of sustenance where it's like you're looking to them for clarity and guidance, because it's, if they're telling you like, oh, you know, you're emotionally unavailable, you don't love me enough, it's like all you care about is yourself, you're very self-centered. It's like, and you care about the person, so you want to stick around and keep saying like, oh, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I'm trying to do better, and you're trying to vindicate yourself in that particular situation, right? Because that's just the way that emotional abuse works. But I feel like this person is taking advantage of this. However, where spirit is within this situation is, it would take strength, wisdom, and clarity from my Crosswatcher person to look at this situation, to recognize it for what it is. And the other side of this is spirit allowing one to see within themselves that this wounding preceded this relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, even though this person had less than stellar intentions with engaging with you, right? It's the fact that now it's come to the surface. The Crosswatcher person realizes like, I don't feel good enough, right? And it's more or less taking and focusing on that. Now, this is interesting because I told Virgo in their reading, in their soul session, the energy that came up was like screaming for the Virgo person to take time to see like a therapist, right? And I feel like I would say the same thing for you, Crosswatcher, because if you were dealing with a person who's manipulative on this level, God forbid if they're narcissistic, it's like, granted, we can do a certain level of healing on our own, but just like I told Virgo, I feel seeing a therapist is a cheat code, right? It's like, it's a cheat code, it's a shortcut. Instead of, you know, one trying to sit and journal their life away, meditate their life away, seeing a licensed professional can help you to fast track a lot of this healing, because it's not a guessing game. It's being able to come in and say, this is what I'm going through, this is how I feel, this is the kind of relationship I just got out of, you know, this is my history of relationships. And your therapist being able to look at all of that help you conceptualize with it, create, a treatment or a wellness plan for you. And you're really starting to get to the nitty gritty of processing this with someone who's trained on processing emotions and helping you learn a skill set to move forward. So I feel that would be helpful for my cross watchers, as opposed to, and I don't know if y'all are Virgos, but as opposed to what it is that I saw in the Virgo reading, which was the reason why they got to this place was to bring up what was in their subconscious or their shadow aspects to the fore, to bring it to the light, because the purpose of it is for us to heal that, especially with all the stuff that's happening with Saturn in October. So it's preparing you to go into 2022 with a true clean slate and not carrying, old baggage with you forward. So let's see the energy between the two of you. But legit with this person, man, this person feels like, whether it's the Gemini person or, there's a Gemini watching this and this is your person of interest, this person feels like a bucket with holes in it. It's like, this is someone where they're impossible to please. It's like, no matter what you do, it'll just never be enough because they're not coming from a truthful place. It's like everything that they're speaking isn't truth. And I said this in another reading. It's gaslighting, it's crazy making for a person to tell you that you're doing something that you're not doing and then trying to, send you on this journey to fix that particular thing. It'll run you mad. So the next card we have is the Five of Swords. That's conflict. It's one-upmanship. It's this person liking to be in control. It's like putting a person that they're with in a submissive position to them. And dude, the thing that I say is, this energy, I don't like it because the energy signature of it sounds a lot like, and I say this a lot in readings, and why, narcissism is called the God complex, right? Is because when people are doing narky type of stuff, it's like they're putting themselves in a position as your God, proverbially speaking. It's like they're a little demigod in your life, because it's like them sitting there and saying, like, these are my standards, you're not meeting them, that's not enough, like, bow down, think about me all day long, consider me before you do anything. And it's not that they're literally saying that, it's just the pattern of behavior is that, of the fact that if we're talking about our cross watcher person here, or Gemini, wherever you fit in, it's this person's response to your behavior, or their punishments, if you will, have conditioned you to not move fluidly. It's like they could do something that upsets you, but not to, flash out on them, hypothetically speaking, not to flash out on them because they'll ghost you, right? Or if they do something that hurts you, you're less likely to, call them out on it, because the person will give you the silent treatment. So it's like over time, it's like this conditioning. It's like, I said this last month, it's like the frog in the pot theory. It's like when you put a frog in a pot of cold water and you put it on the stove and you turn it to high, because frogs are cold-blooded, they're adaptable, right? Just like empaths, it's like they're going to up their body temperature to meet whatever temperature they're in. So a frog will literally sit in a pot of cold water, turn to high, and they will up their body temperature until it gets to a full boil, and they will literally boil to death, right? That's a lot what it's like when empaths are in situations like this. It's like you adjust and adapt and adjust and adapt until you end up boiling to death in such a situation. Because people who are manipulative, they never just show up like a jerk. You know what I'm saying? They don't just show up asking you to compromise your whole life. It's just little drips over time. But next to this Five of Swords, we have the Seven of Cups and the reverse. So there is a possibility for you to see the truth in this situation. And that's falling under the Star in the reverse. I forgot to say that's Aquarius energy, by the way. but it's giving you an opportunity to see the truth of this situation. And the truth of the situation is, I think on both ends, my cross watcher as well as your person of interest, you're both hurt in different ways. But I feel that this, where it's falling for Gemini person B, wherever you fit in, but person B, the manipulative person, I feel for them, they're wounded as well, but it's like not everyone who's wounded chooses to become a predator. And I feel like that's the route that they took. It's like the two of you could have very similar wounds, but this person chose to take the route of being, you know, manipulative and, you know, emotionally manipulative and things of the sort. And for my cross watcher person or person A, it's very much a personal self-esteem type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But you have the opportunity to see the truth of this situation, to see like this conflict that exists between the two of you, and seeing like this dynamic of this being an unequal or an unfair partnership, and for you to be able to move forward. Whew, child. And then we have the 10 of Swords and the reverse. But I feel the concern is here, which is the reason why. And then we have the 2 of Cups and the reverse. And the thing I heard is that this is not love. This is not what love looks like. You know what I'm saying? When a person truly loves and cares about you and has your best interest at heart, because that's what true intimacy is. True intimacy is when both partners have each other's best interest at heart. And if this person had your best interest at heart, they couldn't possibly treat you this way. But with this 10 of Swords and the reverse coming out, it's still speaking to the same thing. So first and last card, Death in the reverse, 10 of Swords in the reverse. So it's something that has died that needs to be released. The cycle needs to end. But with this being a Swords card, this says to me, my cross watcher is having trouble letting go because of one's mindset. And I understand that because it has everything to do with this manipulation that's going on. So it's like not really trusting your own judgment. And it's feeling like, it's almost like being double-minded about it, because there's a part of you that's like, this is wrong, this person shouldn't treat me like this. But then again, it's like, I do this, I do have a tendency to do that. You know, my parents or my friends or my boss has said that I do this. You know, maybe it's my own insecurities. And, you know, I have been told that I'm selfish before, and they do say that I'm selfish. I can do that sometimes. So it's kind of being in two minds about it, where you can't really take a stance to really say this person is wrong, because it's almost being in the mindset of saying, as much as I could blame them is as much as I can blame myself. And we do attract what we are. So how can I really say that they're the total problem? And I think that's why it's so difficult for my cross watcher to let go. However, I have to stress, cross watcher, this can be very difficult to navigate a situation such as this. It's when you're in a mentally or emotionally abusive situation, some of you may not even see it that way, like see it as that. You know what I'm saying? But it's very difficult to navigate situations like this and to leave situations like this. And truth be told, what's the hurt in it? If there's the possibility that you really are the problem, right? And that this person is correct. And if you went to a therapist, the therapist could tell you that. It's like, you know what? Nope, they're not the narc you are, right? So then there's no questions. So I feel, even looking at this 5 of Swords too, 5 of Swords is about taking a risk and taking a chance. I feel that my cross watchers should take a risk and take a chance on getting some wise counsel and speaking to someone who's a specialist in these particular areas to offer you clarity and insight. Because I feel if you don't get another opinion, if you don't bring another person that you can trust into this, you know what I'm saying? Because situations like this may be difficult to talk to friends and family about. But if you don't get another opinion of someone who's not invested in the outcome of this situation, or even just like friends, like if your friends don't like the person and they're just going to be like, oh, I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to be willing to hear anything because they've already made a judgment about this person. You know what I'm saying? Going to speak to a therapist about it, they can give you an honest, unbiased opinion for good or for bad. Because if you're thinking that there's more that you need to do in this situation, you can get confirmation on that or get clarity on if this person is really, the issue here. And I feel that you owe that to yourself, because the thing that I'm concerned about with my cross watchers in reference to this, who child, is just with this death in the reverse and the 10 of swords in the reverse being here. I feel this is like a mental block that is always gonna keep you in this loop of wondering if it's something you could have done different. But I see clearly there's nothing that you could have done different, because this person is very much in control of this situation and they've created this framework for this partnership to play out like this. So, like I told my Virgo people, and I don't think I told Taurus, but like I told my Virgo people, I partner with BetterHelp for that reason, because I can't be everybody's therapist. I can only take so many people. But the link is in the description box below this video. So please take advantage of that. With BetterHelp, you can find a therapist in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? You can video chat them, you can do phone calls, you can do texts. So that's something quick and easy where you can start today. So take advantage of that, my friends, or find someone in your area. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, my wonderful Gemini cross watchers, that has been your reading. I'm going over to all of my membership platforms, the network, Patreon, YouTube members, and Vimeo. I had to say that because no one knew I was still on those. But to do the extended, we're going to look at how this person thinks and feels about you. And just because of how this is coming out, I'm going to do some additional cards to kind of help you guys out, to give you some insights or any intuitive messages that Spirit gives you, girl. So thank you for being here. I love your face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.